You are listening to IU East Red Wolves basketball at IUERedWolves.com and the Red Wolves Sports Network. This is an audio-only broadcast. You will be able to see the clock and the score. There are 9 minutes left in warm-ups. You are listening to IU East basketball at IUERedWolves.com and the Red Wolves Sports Network. This will be an audio-only broadcast. You will be able to see the time and the score. There are 6 minutes and 50 seconds left in warm-ups. They first met December 23rd under the bright lights of Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, and they meet again tonight with the big stakes of a spot in the national championship game on the line. The Indiana University East men's basketball team faces the University of St. Francis out of Indiana tonight in the NAIA Division II Men's Basketball National Championship Fab 4. Good evening and welcome to IU East Men's Basketball at IUERedWolves.com and the Red Wolves Sports Network. This is Kyle Wright with the IU East Athletic Department. I'll be describing the action for you tonight, and we're thrilled to be here, thrilled to have you listening along for tonight's national semifinal between the Red Wolves and the top-ranked Cougars out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. As we mentioned, this is an audio-only broadcast. You will be able to see the time and the score. If you'd like to watch a video broadcast, you'll want to go to NAIA Network. Just do a Google search for NAIA Network, and you'll be able to get a subscription for the video broadcast of tonight's game. We sure appreciate those of you tuning in to listen to tonight's audio broadcast. Well, the 31st ranked Red Wolves, they've pulled 3 consecutive upsets. They won this 32-team tournament's Kramer bracket. This tournament started with 4 8-team brackets, and the Red Wolves won the Kramer bracket as the number 7 seed, and they enter this semifinal with a 22-13 record. The Cougars are 32-4. They're number 1 in the national poll in the whole country, and they won this tournament's Naismith bracket as the number 1 seed in this bracket. This is a rematch of St. Francis' 69-60 win against IU East in a game played back on December 23rd, Christmas Eve, late at night at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, home of the Indiana Pacers, played immediately after the Pacers game against the Sacramento Kings that night. The winner of this one goes to the national championship game, where the winner will face Indiana Wesleyan University or Davenport University in the national championship game. That'll be tomorrow, and that'll be at 7 o'clock IU East time. You hear the buzzer. We're 3 minutes away from the introduction of starting lineups. The last game for IU East, the Red Wolves knocked off Briarcliff University 83-81 in the quarterfinals of this tournament on Lucas Huffman's score with 6.6 seconds remaining. Briarcliff was number 4 in the national rankings, and they were the number 1 seed in the Kramer bracket. Wondering about the series history between these two teams, that game at Bankers Life Fieldhouse was the first ever NAIA meeting between these two schools. And most likely, there probably were some games back in the pre-NAIA days, but as far as NAIA meetings, that was the first one between these two schools. Look at some of the IU East storylines. Numbers to listen to tonight. IU East, they're 11-0 on the season when they shoot 48% or better from the field, and they've done that in 2 of the games in this tournament. They're 12-0 if they score 80 points or more, and they've done that in all 3 of these games in the tournament. So those are the numbers to watch if you're IU East. Basically, the Red Wolves, you know you're going to get a reasonably solid defensive effort from them game in and game out. The question is just, are they going to get enough points to make that defensive effort hold up for a win? Lucas Huffman with the big 31 points against Briarcliff, his second highest point total of his college career, including, as we mentioned, that game winner with 6.6 seconds to go. He leads IU East on the season with 16 points a game. While here in Point Lookout, Missouri, Vache Davis has led IU East in scoring with 19.7 points per game. He also had the tournament single game best, 7 assists in the Red Wolves win against Briarcliff. IU East has played 2 games in its NAIA history against teams ranked number 1 in the nation. Both of those games were against Indiana Wesleyan. The Red Wolves won against then number 1 IWU at home in 2011. They lost against the top-ranked Wildcats in 2014. Looking quickly at St. Francis, they're the number 1 seed from their bracket, number 1 in the nation. They reached the Fab Four with an impressive 80-53 quarterfinal win against Kaiser University out of Florida. That was on Saturday. They've won 15 in a row. They won the Crossroads League regular season and tournament titles. Very impressive three-point shooting team. They're 3rd in the nation in three-point field goal percentage at about 42%. And when they're not making three-pointers, they're taking care of business on the boards. They're 4th in the nation in rebounding margin. Most of the time, they out-rebound their opponents by about 8.6 rebounds per game. St. Francis does have a bit of history here. They won the national tournament in 2010. They were the national runner-up in 2011. But this Fab Four stage, brand new for all the players for both schools, as obviously this is the first time IU East has reached this stage. And St. Francis, while they've been here as a program, this is the first time that their individual players have been there. The teams are taking the floor for the national anthem. We'll pause briefly. You'll be able to hear the national anthem, and then we'll be right back with the starting lineups here at IUERedWolves.com and the Red Wolves Sports Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 25th Annual NAIA Division II Men's Basketball National Championship and the Keeter Gymnasium on the campus of the College of the Ozarks. Here are your lineups for this.
And my apologies, they're actually going to do the lineups first, followed by the anthem. So we'll do with the starting lineups first. We're going to do IU East first. As you hear the Red Wolf crowd, they'll go with the lineup they've used the last 2 games. Starting at forward for the Red Wolves, number 0, Dom Williams, 6'6" forward out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, averages 7 points a game. He's upped that a little bit in this national tournament. At guard, senior, 6'3", out of Hammond, Indiana, Vache Davis, averaging 12.6 points per game. As we mentioned, IU East scoring leader in this national tournament. Getting the start for the third straight game, point guard is senior Nick Bolenbacher, 6 foot even, out of Cedar Lake, Indiana, went to Hanover Central High School, averaging 4.4 points per game, has run the point masterfully as Jacoby Claypool has been hobbled with an injury since the Red Wolves' first game out here. Nick with just 2 turnovers in more than 30 minutes a game running the point guard position the last couple games. At guard, sophomore, 6'7", out of Indianapolis, Lucas Huffman, the Red Wolves' top scorer on the season with 16 points a game. And rounding out the starting lineup, senior 6'3", out of Kokomo, Indiana, number 33, Parker Salinas, 11.3 points per game on the season, and about 18 points per game since joining the starting lineup in early January. A big reason the Red Wolves are where they are. For St. Francis, they're going to go with number 4, Kagan Comer, 12.9 points per game. If you want to know what Coach Rigby for IU East looked like as a college player, basically just look at this guy. They were trained in the same high school program and both All-America caliber players. Also at guard, number 5, Evan Henry, 6'1", out of Columbus North High School, lefty, averages 11.8 points per game. At the point, number 13, 5'8", senior guard out of Hamilton Heights High School, Arcadia, Indiana, Seth Small, averages 6.8 points per game. And he also is the team leader in assists. At forward, number 23, Bryce Linnep, 6'6", forward out of Columbus, Indiana. He's a sophomore, averages 14.6 points per game. And rounding out the line at number 30, Austin Fox, 6'3", forward, senior out of Muncie. Went to Central High School, 14.9 points per game. The Crossroads League Player of the Year. When you're the Crossroads League Player of the Year, you're also most likely a candidate for National Player of the Year and a first-team All-American. So the key focus of a very balanced, very talented lineup for St. Francis. So the team's huddling up, and now I believe we're a few minutes away from the national anthem. We'll pause as we listen to the national anthem, and then we'll be ready for this national semifinal. IU East against St. Francis. Someone is going to go from fabulous to finalist, the winner of this Fab 4 matchup here at Keeter Gymnasium on the College of the Ozarks here in Point Lookout, Missouri. A hop, skip, and a jump shot away from Branson. And we've received word, actually, the anthem is going to be before the second game here this evening. The agenda had read otherwise. It looks like the anthem will be before the second game, so we'll just go right to action. So both teams taking the court. Linnep's going to jump it up for St. Francis. Dom Williams in the middle for IU East. If you've done the privilege of listening to us while watching the live stream, IU East is in red. They'll be moving from left to right. St. Francis in white. They will move from right to left. Both center jumpers a little antsy. If it does go up, it goes to Kagan Comer. St. Francis will bring it with Seth Small on the right side. They'll go a weave across the top. Right now it's in the hands of Fox. Cross-court dribble to Small. Small will lob down low to Linnep. Linnep cross-court on the block to Fox. Fox hangs onto it. Kick out pass to Seth Small. Small fakes, drives to the middle, gets to the right block, shoots the fadeaway. No good. Rebound Dom Williams as 4 Red Wolves were there for the block out, and here come the Red Wolves, their first possession of the game. 19:30 to go in the first half. National semifinal. Vache Davis drives left baseline, stops, pass out to Parker Salinas. Cross-court pass to Lucas Huffman, almost a little high, almost caused Lucas to travel, but he's able to collect it. Vache drives left side, spins, ran into some traffic short off the side of the background. Here comes St. Francis. Kagan Comer quickly out ahead of the Red Wolf defense. He double pumps from the left side and goes off the glass good. First basket of the game to St. Francis, 2-0 Cougars. We're a minute in. IU East the other way. Nick Bolenbacher left side. Parker Salinas now gets the pass at the top of the key. Parker, 2 dribbles. Goes for the dribble, handoff to Nick. It gets away from him a little bit. He's able to collect it as IU East down to 10 seconds on the shot clock. Nick drives against Linnep. Looks for help. In the corner to Lucas Huffman. Luke fakes. Fadeaway three-pointer. Knockdown! IU East with its first lead as Lucas Huffman hasn't missed a beat since his big game against Briarcliff on Saturday. 3-2 IU East. 18:30 to go in the first half. Seth Small now stops at the free throw line, goes right side to Comer. Comer looks for help. They'll go to Linnup, and it's going to go out of bounds. Parker Salinas was fronting him. They went for the lob. A little too much juice on it. It landed on the baseline before Linnup could even think about running it down. And ball back to IU East, leading 3-2, 18:21 to go in the first half. Here is Nick Bolenbacher on the left side. Nick will bring it to the hash mark. 4 IU East players on the right side. Nick was by himself on the left. Gets a ball screen from Lucas Huffman. He'll go to Parker Salinas. Slips through his hands. Challenged by Comer, but Parker able to chase it down. That one slips completely out of his hands. Sails out of bounds into the St. Francis bench. Ball back to St. Francis. They trail 3-2. Red Wolves by 1. We're exactly 2 minutes in. Again, live audio broadcast. We are audio only. You can see the score and the time. We are live audio. St. Francis now with it. Comer top of the key. Left side on the wing, Fox. Fox, the player of the year in the Crossroads League. And he drives from the left wing all the way to the right block and scores 4-3. St. Francis back in front by 1. Bolenbacher now the right side. Red Wolves having a little trouble getting into their sets. Nick's had to direct the traffic both times. And now here's Vache. He'll go out of the left corner, kick back out to Nick Bolenbacher. Quickly, they work it around. Now it's Lucas Huffman at the right elbow. Lucas dribbles out, dribbles in, and he's going to draw the foul on Kagan Comer. That was something the Red Wolves thought they could do. They were going to have to be very good, very hard north and south drives, but if they thought they could do that, they might be able to get some of the Cougars in foul trouble. And there's the first foul of the game on Kagan Comer. His first, team's first. New shot clock, 17:20 to go, first half. Now Luke, right block, goes against Fox, high off the glass, too hard. Don Williams there for the rebound, though. He'll kick back out to Nick Bolenbacher. Now Lucas in the corner for 3. That's going to be short, as several Red Wolves look like the ball might be slipping out of their hands. I'm sure they have a new one for this national semifinal game. I'm sure they'll get adjusted quickly. 4-3, Cougars by 1. We're coming up on 17 minutes left in this first half. Here is Seth Small, right side. Dribble handoff to Kagan Comer. My apologies, that's Henry. Henry to Comer. He'll move to the right. Handoff to Small. Small against Bolenbacher. Dribble handoff to Evan Henry. Henry one dribble to Comer on the right side. Cross court back to Small. Shot clock at 10. Small looks to drive against Bolenbacher. To the left elbow. To the block. To the baseline. He jumps. He passes. And they're going to say 3 seconds. Either on the drive, it was on or one of the St. Francis posts. So the Red Wolves able to get a defensive stop there. And St. Francis wants a 30-second timeout to talk things over. As IU East, though they trail by 1, they've been able to force St. Francis deep into the shot clock on pretty much all of the Cougars' possessions so far. They got 1 basket on basically a run out, 1 basket on a move by Fox, and the Red Wolf defense has been strong on the other possessions. Cougars looking to make perhaps an early adjustment there. Red Wolves will have the ball back. Fresh possession. They trail 4-3 here in this national semifinal. First trip to the Fabulous Four for IU East. Looking for a spot in the national championship game. Again, that would be tomorrow, 7 o'clock IU East time. And we'll have the action here for you at IUERedWolves.com. There are video options as well. If you'd like the video option tonight, NAIA Network, you can buy a subscription for the video broadcast. IU East with it. Vache Davis right side. He'll dribble handoff to Nick Bolenbacher. Nick moving left to Parker Salinas, cutting from left to right. Can't get it to go from the free throw line. Rebounded by Fox. Here comes St. Francis. Comer, left side, guarded by Vache. He will dribble to the free throw line. Finds Henry in the corner for an open 3. Good. That's where they're at their best. If they can get action around the free throw line, force the defense to collapse and find open shooters. Henry, one of the top 4 3-point shooters in the nation, and he showed why on that one, knocking down the 3 out of the left corner. 7-3 St. Francis. Now Salinas looks to answer. Too hard on the drive to the left side. Rebound comes down to Seth Small. Small looks to push. Jump pass to Fox in the middle. Fox goes up against Dom Williams and scores. Dom tried to take the charge, but Fox had position down deep. 9-3 St. Francis. Now Bolenbacher. Guarded by Small. They're going to extend the pressure out, still in man. They'll go right side now, Vache Davis. To Nick Bolenbacher to Salinas. Now Lucas Huffman has it on the left side. Luke with the only basket of the game for IU East so far. Kicks out to Vache Davis. Vache will try the 3 with shot clock running down. Nothing but nothing on that one. Air ball. Ball back to St. Francis as the Red Wolves struggling to get going on offense in the early going. St. Francis up 9-3 with the ball. Coming up 15-15 to go in this first half of play. Here is Small. He'll go right. Dribble handoff. Evan Henry, who hit the three on the last possession. One head pass to Linnup. Linnup against Salinas. Gets to the basket. Blocked by Vache Davis, but goes back into Linnup's hands. He'll go up. Ball got stuck in the rim, but before that, they're going to say a foul on IU East. It's going to go against, well, I had the view of the official's hand blocked. They're going to say Dom Williams. And the Red Wolves do not want him to get two. He got caught on the switch on that, but Dom's going to be the primary defender on Austin Fox, the top scorer for St. Francis, and the guy that makes a lot of the offense go. So first foul on Dom. Don't want to see him get two anytime soon. Linnup to the line will shoot two. First shot up, first shot good. 10-3 Cougars. And first sub of the game, Jordan Hahn, 5'11", senior guard out of Newcastle. He'll replace Seth Small. 14:59 to go. First half, St. Francis leads IU East 10-3 in this national semifinal. Second free throw, good. 11-3, Red Wolves trail by 8. Here's Nick Bolenbacher for IU East. Looking to answer. They've been outscored 9-0 in the last several minutes. Dom Williams now right side. Looks for Parker Salinas. Red Wolves will work it into the corner. Vache Davis. Vache dribbles to the left elbow. IU East works it to Dom Williams now in the right corner. Dom dribbles out to the wing. Fakes. Tries to go middle. Almost gets it stripped away. Able to find Parker Salinas as the shot clock is down to 8. Vache now drives. Shoots the one-legged shot up and good. Tough shot by Vache. Breaks the drought for IU East 11-5. St. Francis plays what the pack line defense, think Virginia, among other teams. You can get shots, but you got to be patient, and you're going to get them late in the shot clock, so you got to get it right the first time. First shot was missed by St. Francis, but Linnup was there for the rebound. He found a cutting Evan Henry. Henry laid it in with the right hand. It's 13-5 St. Francis. Vache looks to answer, gets to the basket, can't get it to go with the right hand. Here come the Cougars. Comer. Now Fox will bring it himself, guarded by Salinas. Fox all the way to the block, looks for Linnup, got him on the left side, up and good. 15-5, St. Francis with the quick start in this one, and IU East wants to take it over. They trail 15-5. Their biggest deficit of the tournament was 11. That was their deficit in the second half against Briarcliff, off to the slow start in this one. So not uncharted territory, at the same time not an ideal start. IU East, if you remember the first game between these teams back at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, the Red Wolves trailed by 18 in that one. Got it all the way down. I think they had it down to 5, and they almost had a stop. They would have had a chance to get it down to a one-possession game. That was with about 4 minutes left. But if you go back, watch the video of that, St. Francis player, it may very well have been Fox, threw in kind of a circus shot and got fouled for a three-point play, pushed the lead back out to 8 with 3 or 4 minutes to go, and there wasn't enough time for the Red Wolves to respond from that. So being down to St. Francis, not a new thing. They've showed they can come back from it, but looking to steady themselves here in the early going as St. Francis is on a 13-2 run after IU East had the 3-2 lead in the early going. Again, I wouldn't expect this big stage of the Fab Four to really affect IU East as far as nerves. What we've actually got here in this Final Four is essentially a Indiana Wesleyan Summer League reunion. IU East, all 4 of the Final Four teams, IU East, St. Francis, Davenport, and IU play each other a ton of times over the summer. Coach Hester's estimate was that this is like the 8th or 9th time that IU East has played St. Francis with these groups, if you count Summer League. So both teams very familiar with each other, but St. Francis the more comfortable team here in the early going. IU East has gone to Nate Niehoff looking for fresh bodies. Kyle Pippinger also in for IU East. Nate can't get it to go from the left block, and St. Francis will bring it up looking to extend their 10-point lead. Kagan Comer kicks to Evan Henry on the left side. Henry will dribble back against Vache. They'll go underhand pass to Hahn on the right side. Quickly back to Henry, now on the right block to Linnup. Over to Kagan Comer, top of the key three-pointer, banks it in. So everything going right for St. Francis right now. Not a whole lot going right for IU East. 18-5 Cougars. The Red Wolves trail by 13. Jacoby Claypool's checked in. He's limited with the left hand, but he's just fine with the right, and that's where he's keeping it with him right now. And he's also, as he put it himself, he can still play defense. So Jacoby Claypool in. He can also still shoot. His shooting hand is fine, but that three-pointer from the right wing came up short. Most of IUE's shots have come up short. Here's Jordan Hahn for St. Francis. No good. Linnup was there for the follow. He couldn't get it to go either. Hard off the glass. Vache with the rebound. Over to Lucas Huffman. Slips out of his hands. Red Bulls having all sorts of trouble holding on to the ball tonight. Nate Niehoff will try it on the block. Up, blocked away by Linnup. Goes out of bounds, lands on Hahn. Ball will stay with IU East. They've got 16 on the shot clock. We've got 12:27 to go in the first half. Perry Poindexter in for St. Francis in for the first time. Linnup out. Poindexter, we talked in the scouting report, has really come on strong for St. Francis in the second half of the season. IU East gets it in to Pippinger in the right corner. Pip dribbles it out to the wing, almost stripped away, able to kick it out to Huffman. Huffman fakes the three, goes left to right, can't get it to go off the glass, but he had it tipped to him, but they're going to say over the back on Nate Niehoff. Evan Henry, it was an interesting step. He had position, reverse of what you normally might think of someone having rebounding position. Henry had position. Nate Niehoff was kind of blocked out of bounds, was able to elevate and tip over him, but they're going to say over the back on Nate. His first, team second. 12:14 to go, first half. Red Wolves trail 18-5. This is audio only. You will see the scoreboard and the time. Austin Fox now, they're going to give Lucas Huffman a chance on him. Gets to the right block, dishes left side to Poindexter. Poindexter all alone elevates and slams it. 20-5, St. Francis. Red Wolves looking to relax. Here's Jacoby Claypool. Gets double teamed off the ball screen, able to find Vache Davis. Vache between the legs, drives, loses it, but it goes to Nate Niehoff. Nate fakes, goes with the left hand, slips out of his hand, misses way left. Here comes St. Francis. Henry, left side, underhand to Comer, out top to Fox. Fox will drive from 20 feet, gets to the block but loses it. Finds a driving Hahn. Hahn also leaves it short, so starting to slip out of the St. Francis hands a little bit also. And again, if you're watching the video, you'd be seeing more slippages really for both teams than we've seen all throughout this tournament. 20-5, IU East down 15. Slow start, obviously slower than they'd hoped in this situation, but plenty of time. Parker Salinas checked back in. Aaron Thomas, Fort Wayne native, in for the first time for IU East. Nick Bolenbacher also back in after the quick rest. 11:20 to go. Nick between the circles, now moves to his left. Keeps the dribble, spins to Lucas Huffman, top of the key. Luke over to Kyle Pippinger. They're going to try Salinas in the post. Salinas spins back to Nick Bolenbacher, no good, but there for the rebound is Aaron Thomas. He'll quick kick out to Park for three, good. Red Wolves needed that one. 20-8, slows down the St. Francis run. Now the deficit is 12. Fox gets it on the left side, guarded by Thomas. Tries to go to his right, that's his comfort zone. Can't get there, instead he'll kick out to Seth Small. Small drives left side, elevates, all alone Perry Poindexter, and he puts in the baby hook. Two men went to help on Small. He found a cutting Poindexter. 22-8, St. Francis. Bolenbacher to Lucas Huffman in the right corner. Luke sweeps, drives, spins, kicks out to Nick Bolenbacher. Fake pass to Pip. Instead goes to Salinas. Salinas moving right to left, back to his right. One-handed shot falls. So the Red Wolves starting to shake off the, I don't know what you want to call it, I guess just the butterfingers really on offense. They've scored on their last two possessions, 22-10. 10-10 to go, first half. Driving, Hahn elevates, floater, no good. There for the rebound, Aaron Thomas. Tipped out to Kyle Pippinger. He'll bring it on the right side. Pip with Aaron Thomas trailing, swings it to Parker Salinas for three, takes the three, no good off the back of the rim. Rebound comes down to Small as Aaron Thomas went crashing into a couple Cougars. Got the Cougars out of the way but couldn't quite get the rebound. And here is Fox. They've run several possessions with him at the point. He moves to the right block. That is his comfort zone. Spins in the middle, back to the right, and just too strong for the Red Wolf defenders. He scores 24-10. He is the player of the year in the Crossroads League for a reason. Probably going to be first-team All-American. And so far in this game, he's got 6 points. Now IU East. Lucas Huffman. Handoff, Kyle Pippinger. Pip spins, shoots, no good. Rebound to Fox. Fox, one of the national leaders in rebounds. He pulls down about 11 a game. That's third in the country coming to the national tournament. And he'll take it coast to coast. To the right side, off the glass and good. 26-10. St. Francis up 16. 9 minutes to go in this first half. Huffman in the corner to Nick Bollenbacher. Back to the block, Huffman. Luke finds a cutting Parker Salinas. He'll put it up with the left hand. Couldn't get it to go. Couldn't get it on the glass. Off the back of the rim. Rebound to St. Francis. Here comes Evan Henry. And St. Francis is going to take a 30-second timeout. They had 3 subs ready to come in. And they're going to use one of their 30-second timeouts to get those subs in to try to keep their regular, or at least what I presume to be their regular rotation in rotation. So 26-10, shaky start for IU East, shooting 21% from the field so far. We mentioned the magic number for the Red Wolves, shooting percentage-wise, is 48%, and right now they're less than half of that. So if you're an IU East fan, certainly hoping that picks up sooner rather than later. They're 4 out of 20 so far. St. Francis, on the other hand, shooting 65%, which is going to get it done on most nights. They're 11 out of 17. IU East actually better from 3 than from 2 right now. They've hit 2 out of their 6 3-pointers, 33%. St. Francis only taken a couple. They've hit both of them, and they've got the 26-10 lead. It'll be St. Francis ball. 3 subs will just go over all 5 they have out there right now. Kagan Comer is in. Seth Small is in. Bryce Linnup is checked in. And Billy Dozlak in for the first time. Dozlak is a 6-foot freshman guard. He went to Penn High School in Granger next to Elkhart, also very close to South Bend. Wiping up some perspiration. It was a 30-second timeout, so both teams were out on the floor. So mopping up a bit of moisture before we put the ball in play. Might want to take a towel to the basketball as well. It's affected IU East the most, but St. Francis has also had the ball slip out of their hands on more occasions than we saw in the first 4 days of action here. 26-10, St. Francis with the ball. Again, this isn't, while not ideal territory for IU East, not uncharted territory. They came closer than you might think from coming out of this deficit against St. Francis when they played at Bankers Life Fieldhouse back in December. St. Francis with the ball. Small, almost loses it, kicks out to Comer. He banked one in before. He swishes this 3-pointer from the top of the key, and it's 29-10. Cougars, 8:25 to go in this first half. Again, this is audio only. NAIA Network has the video broadcast if you're interested in getting a subscription. Salinas will try it from the left baseline. Can't get it to go. Probably a quicker shot than what the Red Wolves are wanting. Linnup able to get out in front, and before he can get the ball to the rim, he's held by Kyle Pippinger. St. Francis looking for the intentional. Under normal circumstances, I don't even think they'd be asked, but they were calling really, really, really close the first 4 days of the tournament, so that's probably why they were looking for it. One of the early days that might well have been called the intentional. Instead, 2-shot foul for Linnup. He has shot the only 2 free throws of the game so far, and he goes to the line for 2 more. 29-10 Cougars. Red Wolves trail by 19. Linnup takes it, dribbles it, shoots it, and swishes it. Kind of a low trajectory, but it gets the job done. He's made all 3. 30-10, Red Wolves trail by 20. Red Wolves have played from the lead for most of this tournament, so going to give it see if they can continue this Final Four run, try to make it a championship game run, and they're going to have to come from behind to do it. Linnup with one more free throw. And that one rattles out. Rebound to Bollenbacher. And here come the Red Wolves to Vache Davis. Vache left side. Guarded by Dozlak. Now top of the key, Thomas. On the release. Now in the corner, Parker Salinas on the right side. Parker, ball over his head. Kicks it out to Vache Davis. Now they'll go around the horn to Bollenbacher. And then Lucas Huffman pops out. Top of the key, 10 on the shot clock. Gets it to Parker Salinas for 3. No good. Vache Davis there for the rebound. Goes up strong and draws the foul on Perry Poindexter. So Vache holding his wrist a little bit. I certainly hope that we've used up our share of debilitating wrist injuries in this tournament. We'll see what Vache can do at the free throw line. Among the national leaders in free throw percentage for most of the year, every free throw he hits adds to his school record career total of free throws made in his career. First one good, 30-11. Red Wolves trail by 19. Fox back in for our St. Francis. Jason Ray in for IU East. Has played great defense on a variety of folks here in this national tournament. I suspect he's going to get a shot on Fox here. Poindexter out as St. Francis kind of has 3 big guys to rotate in 2 spots in their rotation. Second shot for Vache, good, 30-12. Red Wolves looking to cut into this deficit a little bit before half. Put on a little bit of 3/4 court pressure. St. Francis able to get it to the middle of the floor to Linnup, and he gets it to Small coming across the court. Small gets to the basket, kicks out to Dozlak for 3. Dozlak can't knock it down. IU East with the rebound. They bring it up trailing by 18. Lucas Huffman now, right side, sets the screen for Vache Davis after the handoff. Vache to the basket and partially blocked by Linnup. And he'll kick it out to Dozlak. Dozlak brings it right side himself. Stops on the right wing, feeds the right side. Fox. They'll try to force him up. He'll come up under the basket. Can't get it to go, but Linnup there for the offensive rebound. Back out to Kagan Comer. Comer on the left wing. Spin pass into Linnup. Linnup backs it out to the wing. Now he'll drive to the left side and can't get it to go, but all by himself there for the offensive rebound. The Red Wolves had no choice but to foul him, as he would have had a layup. Foul will go on Jason Ray, his first. Team's 4th. 6:54 to go in this first half. First national semifinal. Other game will match up Indiana Wesleyan against Davenport. 3 of the 4 teams in this fabulous 4 from the state of Indiana. First free throw for Linnup is good. He's shot all of the free throws for St. Francis, and he's 4 out of 5 from the stripe so far. One more shot coming. Red Wolves trailing by 19. Linnup spins it, dribbles it, shoots it, hits it. 32-12. Vache Davis now. He'll bring it left side. At the hash mark, gets a ball screen from Aaron Thomas. Goes around the corner to the top of the key to Salinas. Now in the left corner to Lucas Huffman. Back to the left wing is Parker. One-handed pass to Jason Ray. Looks at Aaron Thomas. Instead, he'll drive to the free throw line. Hand off to Lucas Huffman for 3. No good, short. And rebound comes down to Evan Henry. Henry outlet to Small. Vache there to trying to draw the charge. Small with quick feet and quick mind stops before he actually crashes into Vache. However, the ball bounces off his foot, and ball back to IU East on the hustle / smart play by Vache. 32-12. Red Wolves needing all the possessions they can get, looking to climb out of this hole. Vache, top of the key. Goes left side, dribbles right hand. Finds a cutting Parker Salinas. Parker, good. He cut up from the right side, moving to his left. Stopped at the free throw line, caught the pass, and knocked in the jump shot. 32-14. But quickly here is St. Francis. Henry in the corner, top of the key, Comer. They work around to Fox on the left side. Fox has driven a lot in this game, certainly shown that he's able to do it. The Red Wolves are most worried about him getting it down low and driving, but he's done a little bit of everything. That time an assist as he kicked it over to Seth Small at the right elbow extended, and Small knocked down the three-pointer. 35-14. IU East trails by 21. Jason Ray, now right baseline, Vache. Kicks it back to Jason on the 2-man game. Jason backs it down against the smaller Henry. Fade away, no get off the side of the glass. Rebound, Linnup. Here comes Small. Small, left hand, one-handed pass cross-court to Henry. Henry in the right corner, instead will go top of the key, Fox. He's been pretty much unstoppable in this one. This time he goes to the left block. Can't get it with the left hand. Linnup with the tip, no. Fox with the tip, yes. 37-14, Fox has got 10. First player in this game in double digits. 37-14. Vache to Lucas Huffman, left wing. Lucas looks for help from Aaron Thomas. Quick pass, quick handoff back. Now Lucas will try the left block, shoot it from about where he hit the game winner back on Saturday. Misses the shot but draws the foul. And Lucas will go to the free throw line for his first 2 free throws of the game. Foul is on Linnup, his first, team's third. Not a lot of fouls in this game. Coming up on 5 minutes left in the first half, and Coach Hester would like a timeout. 37-14. Red Wolves to keep this alive. This tournament story is now going to have to be a comeback story if they want to reach the championship game. They trail 37-14. Full timeout. Again, this is audio only. You do see the score and the time. If you'd like the video broadcast, that is available at NAIA Network. We do appreciate you joining in with us. Taking a look at the scoring while we've got a break in the action. IU East still ice cold from the field, 5 out of 26. Got to figure that's going to heat up sooner rather than later. St. Francis has, relatively speaking, also cooled off a bit. They're down to 56%. It was 61% last time we had a timeout. They've made 4 out of 5 from three-point range. That's 80%. Red Wolves shooting just 25% from 3, 2 out of 8. St. Francis just dominating the boards. 21 rebounds for St. Francis, 7 for IU East. They've limited IU East to just 2 rebounds, and they've got 6 offensive rebounds of their own. Not as that bad as it sounds. Part of that's due to the number of missed shots for IU East, but still a lot of second chance points for St. Francis. One of many reasons they lead this game 37-14. So Red Wolves down by 23, but Lucas Huffman at the line with a chance to cut into that deficit a little bit. Lucas with 3 so far in this game. He hit a three-pointer to make it 3-2, and that's been the only lead of the game so far for the Red Wolves, as St. Francis answered with 9 in a row, and they haven't really looked back. Free throw's good. Luke back to the line for one more. Good as well, 37-16. Down by 21. See if any IU East has any significant adjustments for this last 5 minutes. If you're a coach in this situation, the goal is probably to get it down to about 10 going into halftime. Fox to Small, they work it around, moving left to right to Comer. Comer gets a screen from Poindexter, goes away from the screen, gets down to the right block, kicks it out instead to Small on the right wing. Shot clock at 10. Small fakes, gets the screen from Poindexter. Dom shows. Small kicks it to Comer on the block to Poindexter. He'll shoot the fadeaway. No good off the back of the rim. And Vache Davis there for the rebound. Here come the Red Wolves. 4:30 to go in the half. Baseline, Parker Salinas on the right side. Parker dribbles it out to the top of the key, gets to Lucas Huffman, left elbow extended. Switches sides to Parker Salinas, to Vache. Quick touch for Aaron Thomas. Quickly back to Vache. Misses, no good, long this time on the right baseline. Rebounded by Comer. He'll bring it himself for St. Francis. Comer was the high man for the Cougars the first time these two teams play. He had 20 in that game. He's got 8 so far in this one. Looking to make it double digits. No good on the fadeaway. Rebound, Aaron Thomas. Here come the Red Wolves. Luke Huffman in a hurry. Lucas stops in the corner. Dangerous pass to Dom Williams, but got it there. Threads the needle to Vache Davis. Vache has it slip out of his hands. Went up with the right hand on the left side. Couldn't get it to go. Here comes St. Francis, 37-16. Small, the Poindexter left side, blocks away by Aaron Thomas, but it goes out to Comer for 3. No good. Thomas again with the rebound. And here come the Red Wolves, 3:30 to go in the first half. Again, looking to just make a little bit of headway against this deficit. I guess maybe the goal may be 15. That was the deficit at the Bankers Life game, and the Red Wolves almost got out of that one. 37-16. After the empty possession for IU East on the other end. Small to Fox to Comer on the right side, about 25 feet away. Finds Fox, cross-court pass quickly to Poindexter. They work it around in the corner to open Evan Henry, and he shoots that. Rattles out. Poindexter, however, gets the rebound. He throws it off the rim. Rebound Thomas. Aaron having a good day rebounding so far, and the Red Wolves needing every one of them. Trailing by 21. We go under 3 minutes in the first half. Thomas, top of the key. Left corner, Dom Williams. Dom dribbles out to Parker, top of the key. Quickly in the right corner to Vache Davis. Shot clock at 13. Lucas Huffman on the block. Takes a step out to the elbow extended. Shoots from 17. No good, short. Rebound Fox. And St. Francis has it back. Seth Small will bring it with the left hand. Now, top of the key, Fox. Aaron Thomas will get a shot guarding him. Able to stop him at the free throw line, kick out to Small. Small thought he would go back to Fox. Instead, he'll go to Comer. Comer on the left side. Now dribbles right to Small. Small underneath the basket, scores. He got to the basket, went briefly under the basket, then jumped back out, had an opening, and put it in through the rim. 39-16, 2 minutes to go first half. 39-16. Here is Aaron Thomas. Left elbow extended. Thought about handoff to Lucas Huffman. Instead, he'll spin and drive to Vache Davis on the baseline. Vache takes a dribble, stops, passes to Lucas Huffman. He has it slip out of his hands. Aaron Thomas with the one-handed rebound as he falls out of bounds. Quickly out to Parker. Quickly to Vache. He'll drive and he'll get fouled. They either got Small on the reach-in or they got Fox with the body. It's going to be
small. As IU East going to bring 3 subs in. Brad Hunt seeing action for the first time. He's been effective in his national tournament minutes. Nick Bolenbacher back in, and Kyle Pippinger back in for IU East. Pip, I guess, has played against St. Francis more than anyone. He got to play against him twice a year when he was at Huntington. Came in this year, went to high school at Tri-Village High School just across the border from IU East in New Madison. IU East with the ball, 39-16 down. Lucas Huffman left corner to Brad Hunt, left elbow extended. Brad looks for Dom Williams, gets it to him on the right side. Dom will try a high pass into Brad. Brad got contact by Henry, and that's going to send. I will be interested to see if they're going to say he was in the shooting motion or not. Definitely a block on St. Francis, and they are going to say that Brad was into the shooting motion, so he'll get 2 shots. This will be his 5th and 6th free throws of the season. And Brad, eyes, flies, air ball.
And you don't want to make excuses because the ball is the same for both teams, but a whole bunch of slippage really affecting IU East. And while it hasn't affected St. Francis near as much, they have had a few basketballs slip out of bounds by surprise, whereas they were pretty much didn't see that type of thing in the first few days of this tournament. St. Francis, after the second free throw, misses. Kick to the corner to Kagan Comer. He knocks it down from the left side, and it's 42-16. 1 minute for the Red Wolves to do something about it in this first half. Here's Dom Williams, top of the key. Right side now, Lucas Huffman. Corner, Nick Bolenbacher. Nick, top of the key, Brad Hunt. Brad, they'll try it on the left side, Kyle Pippinger. Coach Hester saying look inside, but the Cougars look to have that pretty well covered. They're going to try the lob, elevate. Lucas Huffman went up and got it, but when Lucas went up to shoot, Bryce Linnup went up and blocked it away. Rebound comes down to Hahn, Jordan Hahn for St. Francis. Comer, quick pass to Linnup. That is going to get away from the Cougars, but when Lucas Huffman went to pick it up, it slid out of his hands as well. So ball back to St. Francis. They're going to say no change of possession, so the shot clock stays at 20. 34 seconds left. And Connor Umphris is in for St. Francis for the first time. Billy Dozlak also checking back in. Kagan Comer is going to take a break for these last 35 seconds. My guess is they're taking anyone that's got 1 foul out, making sure they don't get 2 before halftime. Here is Henry off of the inbounds play. Gets a screen from Linnup, goes the other way from it, spins, creates space. Dozlak in the corner for 3, no good. Rebound Linnup. Dom Williams tries to fight for it, but Linnup able to collect it, turns and scores. 44-16 St. Francis. 15 seconds first half. Nick Bolenbacher will bring it across slowly. Down to 9, down to 8. Nick still between the circles. Pippinger cutting through. I think they're looking for him. Nick's going to take it himself with the left hand. Blocked away by Linnup. Goes in the hands of Umphris. He'll throw it the length of the court. And they do miss one. They are human. Your halftime score. Fab 4 game not going so fabulous for the Red Wolves. They trail by 28 at halftime. Score of 44-16. So it'll be a 15-minute halftime as IU East, the games they've lost out here, it's been unique situations. Either they've gone up against someone who's been just red hot shooting the ball, or they themselves have been ice cold shooting the ball. In the 3 previous trips out here, 2 of their tournament losses, they were victimized by hot shooting by the other team, specifically Indiana Wesleyan in 2011 and Concordia out of Oregon last year. The time that they were victimized by cold shooting was against Warner out of Florida. That was in 2012. That was a cold shooting day for IU East. And it is most assuredly the latter in this game. The Red Wolves have held St. Francis to 47% from the field. Not textbook defense, but enough to have a chance most days. But the Red Wolves shooting just 5 out of 33 from the field. We won't say the percent, just suffice to say it would be a school record low that we don't want to see. So 5 out of 33, cold shooting for IU East. Again, we'll have to ask after the game whether, probably I have to say a little bit of nerves. I am very curious if the
little bit of slipperiness on the ball. Again, obviously that's not affecting St. Francis, but even St. Francis has had it slip out of bounds a couple times that you don't usually see out of them. So I'm be interested to hear from the Red Wolf after this game. Other team stats as we wait on the individual stats to get here. IU East shooting 2 out of 8 from three-point range, 25%. St. Francis has knocked down 5 out of 10 three-pointers, 50%. From the free throw line, 4 out of 6 for IU East. That's 67%. St. Francis has hit 5 out of 6 from the free throw line, 83%. Rebounding, St. Francis all over that, 31-12 in favor of the Cougars. It's not good no matter how you slice it, but also not quite as bad as that sounds given how many shots that IU East has missed. They're going to have a pretty significant rebounding advantage just if they had collected all their defensive rebounds, which they pretty much have. They'd have a significant rebounding advantage. Then add in the 9 offensive rebounds that they have, and a 31-12 rebounding advantage for the Cougars. St. Francis has 10 assists on its 17 baskets. IU East with 3 assists on its 5. Neither team has a steal. Only 1 turnover for IU East, so it's all shooting as they've taken care of the ball. 3 turnovers by St. Francis. The Cougars have blocked 3 my apologies. The Cougars have blocked 5 IU East shots. IU East has 3 blocks of his own. Not a lot of fouls in that first half. 4 whistled on IU East. 5 whistled on St. Francis in what was actually a pretty quick first half. I think it was over in about 32 minutes. So the Red Wolves, they've written the tournament story of their history to get to this point. They'll have to write the comeback story of their history to maybe come back and maybe get in position to win this one. Obviously not looking good, but they played all 40 minutes for a reason. We'll look at some of the individual scoring. For IU East, Parker Salinas is the high man with 9 points. He's made 3 out of 10 field goals, did knock down a three-pointer. And actually they've adjusted that down to 16. That means they've given someone else a basket. We'll see where that was. So Parker with 7, Lucas Huffman with 5, and Vache Davis with 4. And that's it for the scoring for IU East. Dom Williams, Brad Hunt, Jacoby Claypool, Nick Bollenbacher, Aaron Thomas, Jason Ray, Nate Niehoff have all played but have not scored. Do want to give credit to Aaron, 5 rebounds to lead IU East so far. Then for St. Francis, they've been led 11 points apiece for Bryce Linnup and Kagan Comer. 5 points apiece, Evan Henry and Seth Small. 8 points for Austin Fox. Fox also has 8 rebounds. We should have mentioned Bryce Linnup with 10 rebounds. So Linnup and Fox been a big part of the problem for IU East, not only when they have knockdown shots, but on the occasions when St. Francis has missed. The rebounding that those two have done, I think particularly Linnup on the offensive end, they've given the Cougars pretty much as many chances as they've needed to get baskets. 5 points for Seth Small, 5 points for Evan Henry, 4 points for Perry Poindexter. Connor Umphreys came in late in the first half, did not score. Billy Dozlak played but did not score. Jordan Hahn played but did not score. It adds up to a 44-16 lead, St. Francis over IU East. Again, this Fab 4 matchup has not gone so fabulous for IU East, but they do play all 40 minutes for a reason. So we'll see if the Red Wolves have a miracle up their sleeves in the locker room. Was there, for those that follow IU East, Coach Hester, actually all the coaches really contribute. They put up a game keys board before each game, just the things the Red Wolves have to do to be successful in each game. Rebounding's been a key throughout the tournament. It's been on the big board twice, actually, before each of the Red Wolves' first 3 games. It was only on there once before this one. Maybe it should have been on there twice. It was the number 1 priority, but St. Francis all over the glass in the early stage of this game. And it's been a big factor in their big lead. Other things that were keys. Well, I'll skip to number 7. It was a 7-point game plan that we mentioned. St. Francis plays kind of a pack line defense. If you watch a lot of college basketball at all levels, think University of Virginia, that's the type of style that they play, or the most prominent example of it. The Red Wolves coming in, their thought was that there were open shots that could be had, but it was something. It's not something you can come down and get an open shot in a hurry. It's something where you have to do certain things. You have to execute perfectly, really, for the first 20 seconds of the possession. And if you do your work then, there's going to be an open look in that last 10 seconds. And it seems just a bit on a few possessions, and in this game you couldn't really afford to have any empty possessions. But a few rush possessions. Early on in the game, IU East seemed to be struggling just to get into the things that they wanted to run. Not in the sense of that it was causing a lot of turnovers, but it caused them to have precious seconds tick off the shot clock, and that meant they didn't really have time to do what needed to be done to set up those openings that they thought they would be able to get late in the shot clock. So those are some of the things that were key. The other thing, again, I haven't seen St. Francis all season, but in walkthrough and in practices, working against Fox, Austin Fox, the top scorer for this very balanced St. Francis team, and the player of the year in the Crossroads League. What they were most concerned with was him catching it either at the free throw line and doing something with it, or at the block and doing something with it. And I don't know if it's a wrinkle or just something that the Red Wolves didn't necessarily prepare for, but he's been catching it between the circles, really, and going to work from there. And he's been really unstoppable. Not necessarily scoring himself, but when a lot of St. Francis offense, if they can get someone not harried around the free throw line and can get either a kick out or a drive, they're really, really good, and they have been really, really good in this first half. Got the full stat sheet handed to me. Again, we went over most of it. We'll take a look at some of the other stats of note. We mentioned the block shots. 4 of the 5 for St. Francis by Bryce Linnup. The other one was by Kagan Comer. 2 block shots for Aaron Thomas. So if you're looking for bright spots, I guess that would be it. Would be Aaron Thomas with a very active and very effective first few minutes of playing time. He has 5 rebounds and 2 block shots and even an assist for IU East. IU East led just once. They trailed 2-0. Lucas Huffman hit a three-pointer to make it 3-2. And then St. Francis scored the next 7 points to make it 9-3. IU East answered briefly, and then St. Francis was just off and running after that, showing why they are the number 1 team in the nation. IU East back out of the locker room. Again, probably wanting a few extra shots, because that was, again, the biggest bugaboo for the Red Wolves in the first half. I won't say the percentage. It's not good. 5 out of 33 in the first half. Got to believe it'll get better. Right now, as it stands, would be in the school record book on the category you don't want it to be for lowest shooting percentage. About 5:40 left in warm-up. Again, this is an audio-only broadcast. What you see on your screen, you do see the scoreboard and the clock. We are able to show you that. Occasionally, you will see a player flashing by or potentially an official handing the ball out of bounds, but this is audio-only. If you would like watch of the second half of this game, that's available at the NAIA network. You can get a subscription for this game or for the entire Fab 4 semifinal evening at the NAIA network. If the Red Wolves can somehow get out of this one, the championship game tomorrow night would be on ESPN3. Well, it'll be on ESPN3 regardless. If you want to watch the Red Wolves in it, they'll need to come back from 28 down for what would be obviously a historic comeback, obviously not only for IU East, but probably in the annals of this tournament as well. We did see a lot of comebacks in the first couple days. Nothing to this extent, obviously. We did see Bethel, a team that all the teams here are quite familiar with, Bethel out of Indiana. They came back, I believe they were down 21 against Briarcliff, got that one all the way down to 4, and very nearly had a three-pointer rattle in that would have cut it to 1 that would have made that game real interesting. Instead, it rattled out, and Briarcliff hit free throws to clinch that game before moving on to play against IU East in the round of 8 game that the Red Wolves won on Saturday. So we've seen at least one almost come back from 20 down, and if the Red Wolves obviously got to hit some shots, get a few more stops, stranger things have happened. 44-16. Again, 4 minutes left in halftime. While we've got a break, I want to take a moment to thank our honorary coaches. We actually had 3 of them. Mike and Julie are here tonight from the track Family Fun Parks with multiple locations here in Branson. This is the second time that they've been our sponsor. Always treated us great. Monday was kind of the day the guys got to visit the track. I know there was a lot of serious go-karting going on, and then they've been so gracious providing us with the Red Wolves with meals throughout the tournament. Always there with refreshments after practices. There on the bench for us for all of our games. Again, thank you so much to Craig and Mike and Julie from the track for being our honorary coaches for IU East for the second time. IU East fans, if you come out to Branson either for a future tournament, hopefully we're back here sooner rather than later, or just for a vacation, as this is very much very similar, closer to our neck of the woods. If you're thinking Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, very similar type of setting here in Branson. Lots of shows, lots of family entertainment. So if you do come out, be sure to stop by the track. At the very least, say hello and thank you for all that the track has done for the Red Wolves in our stays out here at Point Lookout. Also want to thank our home away from home for the last, for the Red Wolves anyway. This is their 9th day out here. Stonecastle Inn. I know a couple folks from there are here tonight. Hopefully got a few folks back at Stonecastle listening as well. We'll try to get a little closer in the second half. Also incredibly gracious, making sure to make room for us as the tournament moved along. Cincinnati Christian, the other representative from the Kentucky Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, that was also their home during this tournament. And very gracious host, Stonecastle. Thanks to both of them. And again, IU East fans, if you're coming out here either for a future tournament or to just enjoy the setting here in Branson, it's just a great spot for a vacation. I know my in-laws have seen all the sights here before, and I've been fortunate enough to come out here 4 times. This is the 4th time with the IU East men's basketball team. Our thanks to both the track and to Stonecastle for being such gracious hosts to the IU East men's basketball team during our stay here. Also a thank you to Big Cedar Lodge. That was where the semifinals banquet was held last night. If you saw the pictures either on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, which you can, if you're not following us, do it now at IUE Red Wolves. That's the extension for all of those, IUE Red Wolves. But if you're one of the thousands from the looks of things that saw our pictures both under the Final Four banner that we'll be receiving and the picturesque team photo that we were able to take by, I'll hopefully pronounce this right, Lake Taneyco. Both of those took place at Big Cedar Lodge. A very gracious host for the semifinals banquet last night. Delicious meal, surf and turf, and thank you to them for being a gracious host of that event. Both teams in the huddle, both teams breaking the huddle. Under a minute left in halftime. As you hear the Red Wolf fans, it's actually the Red Wolf fans making more noise than the St. Francis fans, as obviously they're cheering for, it's been the tournament story of all tournament stories for IU East so far, and now they're looking for the comeback story to end all comeback stories. 20 minutes to try to author a miracle finish and try to reach the national championship game. St. Francis in the first half looking every bit the number 1 team in the country. Very impressive in rolling out to a 44-16 lead. This game will be followed at 9 o'clock IU East time, Davenport and Indiana Wesleyan, rematch of what was a Final 8 game last year. That one was won by Davenport. If you're thinking those team names sound familiar, they should. IU East played all 3 teams here in this Fab 4. They beat Davenport during the regular season, lost against Indiana Wesleyan and St. Francis, trying to avoid a second loss against the Cougars here. But they'll need quite a hill to climb to do it. Got to figure they're a little more relaxed in the second half. They've got the ball first. We're underway. 10 seconds gone already. Lucas Huffman will try to drive, guarded by Fox. Ducks under, misses off the back of the rim. Nick Bollenbacher there for the tip. Can't get it to go. Rebounds again. Quickly back out to Vache Davis. Cross court quickly to Dom Williams. In the corner now to Lucas Huffman. Lucas guarded by Fox. Gives it to Vache. He'll drive. Golly, it slipped out of his hands too, but there was a foul called. So Vache's going to go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Ball just slipping and sliding all over for IU East tonight. And obviously, especially if you're a St. Francis fan, you should be thinking where they're using the ball for both teams. And not as big a factor for St. Francis, but I will say it's slipped out of their hands even more times tonight than I've seen at any point for them any time throughout this tournament. First free throw good for Vache, 44-17, 30 seconds gone in the second half. We are live audio. You do see the scoreboard and the score. 44-18, and IU East got to press. Even if they're not necessarily looking for turnovers, got to speed up the tempo a little bit. St. Francis can execute all day long if they need to. St. Francis breaks the pressure. That's small. Right side, quick pass. Thought he had Linnup. Linnup wasn't looking for it. Turnover. Back to IU East. Vache quickly to the free throw line. To Luke Huffman, three-pointer, top of the key. Dom Williams, no good back to the rim. Rebound by Fox. St. Francis is going to have two guys with double digits rebounding in this one. Here is Linnup up and under. Good. Linnup got it on the left baseline. He went up and under to the right side and put it in with the right hand. 46-18. The lead back to 28. Vache now, right side. Bounce pass on the block to Parker Salinas. Quickly out to Dom Williams. Gives it to Lucas Huffman. Tried the three-pointer. Rattles out. Rebounded by Evan Henry. He'll give it to Kagan Comer. Comer will bring it quickly with the left hand. Dishes over to Henry. Henry gives it to Austin Fox on the left baseline. Fox spins, drives, stops, passes to Linnup at the elbow. He'll go whip it cross court to Comer. He's going to step on the baseline on the drive. He tried to drive it out of the right corner, but stepped on the baseline. Ball back to IU East, 18-27, second half. Red Wolves ball. Trailing by a whole bunch. Here is Bolenbacher. Red Wolves needing points. Don't necessarily need them in a hurry, but just cannot have empty possessions if you're IU East. Nickel tried the three-pointer. That comes up short. Dom Williams tried to save it, lands in the first row, but it went straight to Bryce Linnup. Linnup to Henry. Back to Linnup on the give and go. There to knock it out of bounds, Lucas Huffman. Ball back to St. Francis. 18:08 to go in the game. Henry will inbound it on the left side under the basket. Henry, ball slap into Kagan Comer. Comer, bounce pass to Linnup. Linnup catches it, tries to back in Parker Salinas. Kicks out to Small, goes through Small's hands, but he's able to track it down. Between the circles, now Comer on the right side. Comer between the legs, goes to Fox. Fox got on the right side, and no chance of stopping him when he gets it there. Right hand, he's great anywhere, but on the right side, there's no chance of stopping him. That's where he had it, and he got to the basket. Quickly the other way, driving basket by Parker Salinas. Parker knocked it in the paint, 48-20. Red Wolves have stayed even in the second half, but they can't stay even. They got to make up ground in a hurry. Linnup fed in the post. No good on the block. Dom Williams there for the rebound on the left side. He'll get it to Nick Bolenbacher. Nick, Red Wolves going in a hurry this half. They really don't have time to break down that defense here in the second half. Dom Williams, he'll drive, he'll shoot. Blocked by Linnup, his fifth. Rebounded by Small. Small start with the left hand, goes right side to Kagan Comer. Wing extended. Now Linnup, top of the key, and he'll dribble once, pass to Seth Small. Lob pass as Parker Salinas was trying to front Austin Fox. There for the help was Lucas Huffman. Ball bounced off several players. They're going to say it went off of Fox last, and it'll go back to IU East. Trailing 48-20. Again, they've played it even in the second half, but they need to do a whole lot better than even to try to make up ground. Again, if you're in this situation down this much, you try to break it into 4-minute segments. There's basically 5 4-minute segments, and IU East really, they need to outscore them by about 5 in each of those. Played them even so far, but need to make up ground very quickly. Here is Parker against Comer. Oh, no, my apologies. Linnup had the block. Comer had the help. Linnup just having a huge game. His stats actually very similar to Austin Fox. Fox gets a lot of the accolades. He's the Crossroads League Player of the Year, but actually Linnup averages just a tick less scoring-wise, and he also averages 8 rebounds a game, so every bit as productive as the Crossroads League Player of the Year. Back to IU East. Vache drove, tried to get it to Aaron Thomas. Aaron had it slip out of his hands. It went to Lucas Huffman in the corner. Lucas kicked it quickly to Parker Salinas on the left wing, and Parker knocked down the 3, so Parker's starting to heat up. He's got 9. IU East down 48-23. Here is Comer. IU East again came back, not all the way, but got it down to where they had a chance to get it within a possession when they were down 18 at Bankers Life. We'll see if they can do something kind of similar here. Seth Small had the answer on the last trip. He took it all the way with the right hand, 50-23. 16 minutes left. Here's Lucas. Lucas looked for the screen. Instead, he'll dribble it out. He's on the left side, guarded by Linnup. He should be able to take him off the drive. Gets the ball screened from Aaron Thomas. He'll shoot the three off the dribble. No good. Rebound comes down to, well, Vache's got a hand in there. Henry thought he had it. Vache almost able to strip it, but Henry able to recollect it to Comer. Lucas Huffman all over him as the Red Wolves are going to extend their defense. At this point, why not? Say, even if IU East gets called for 7 quick fouls, the Red Wolves really had no choice. They really got 7 fouls to burn that they can be hyper aggressive without having to worry about St. Francis going to the line. So why not? It's probably one of the chances you're going to have to take if you're thinking about getting back into this game. 15:38 to go. Seth Small, right side, between the legs. Drives against Bolenbacher. Nick stops him. Nick Small's going to have to bounce it out. He'll go to Linnup. Looks for a cutting Poindexter, who has checked in for Fox. Off of Poindexter's hands. He'll be back to IU East. Good defense by Aaron Thomas, making life a little difficult for Poindexter, helping cause that deflection. And again, same ball for both teams. I wouldn't rule out a slick ball causing that as well. Here's Parker. Slips out of his hands. They're either going to say a travel or a foul. It's going to be a foul on Linnup. That is his, my apologies, they're going to say Small on the reach-in. That's 2 situations where Small's gotten called on the reach-in when there's been a St. Francis player also, a teammate also there. Small on the reach, his second, team second. And for IU East, if they could get him into the bonus, it certainly wouldn't hurt. The sooner they can do that to try to score some points with the clock stopped. Bolenbacher had it on the block, tried to work against Small. Nick does have, depending on how tall you say Nick is, at least 4 inches on him. But Small able to get his hands in there, force the tie-up, and the possession arrow points to St. Francis. Ball back to the Cougars. 15-13 left. St. Francis by 27. Here's Henry. Pressure by IU East to Jordan Hahn, who's checked in. Hahn will bring it. Right side, right hand. Dribble handoff to Henry. Henry moves it to the left side. One-handed pass to Linnup. Linnup, 2 dribbles, goes behind the back, goes to the left side. No good once, no good twice. Ball bounced out of bounds. It'll stay with St. Francis. They've got a fresh 30. And 15:54, my apologies, 14:54 to go in the game. $14:54 to go. Basically, the Red Wolves have to outscore them by 2 every minute that's left to even have a chance. Linnup, no good, guarded by Thomas. Rebounds again, scores again. If you were given an MVP in this game, it'd probably be Linnup at this point. 13 points, 11 rebounds, I think 6 blocks. Just been a real problem for IU East. Salinas misses the 3 off the back of the rim. Rebound by Seth Small. Up way ahead to Evan Henry. Henry directs traffic. Back out top of the key to Hahn. Now on right side, Small. Small goes between the legs, but loses it. Nick Bolenbacher dives on it. Up ahead to Parker Salinas. He's up ahead of the field and scores. As Linnup, I'm sure, just didn't want to give up the 3-point play. Parker with the left hand, 52-25. Hahn, left side between the circles. And Lucas Huffman gets his hand in there, but can't quite come up with the steal. It bounces back to Hahn, guarded by Vache. Vache tries to draw the charge, can't quite do it. Small shoots the 3, no good. As the Red Wolves clear out, they do get this rebound. Here's Nick Bolenbacher. Nick with the quick 3, short from the top of the key. Aaron Thomas there for the rebound, but took about 1 more extra step. Red Wolves trying to say that he was bobbling it, and therefore he shouldn't have been called for steps until he got control. But I will say on the eye test, if we looked at a million replays, we might very well be right, but on the very quick eye test, it did look like maybe an extra step in there. 52-25, we are audio only. Thank you for tuning in and staying with us. We're under 14 minutes to go. Seth Small, right side guarded by Bolenbacher. He'll go cross court to Hahn. Hahn guarded by Vache. Here comes Henry cutting to the top of the key. Henry drives to the left block, turns, dribbles it back out to the corner. He'll give it to Lewis, Kendon Lewis, 6'3" junior guard out of Fort Wayne, who has checked in for the first time. Down 2 Poindexter left block. He'll go up with the baby hook. Can't get it to go. Lewis with the rebound, but his putback is blocked away by Aaron Thomas, who's probably been the bright spot of this game for IU East. Lucas Huffman now, left elbow extended, tries to sweep it through against Small. He's got about a foot on him. Small dogging him, though. Good defense forcing the kickback to Vache at the left elbow. Good. Red Wolves have outscored them by 3 in this half, but they need to outscore them literally by 30 to pull off this miracle comeback. Here is Hahn, guarded by Vache. Hahn thinks about driving, stops at the free throw line, kicks out the Small right side. Small against Bolenbacher. He'll go into the lane and miss it short, but Poindexter there for the rebound. Aaron Thomas was there for the help on Small, and that left no one there to clean up the glass. Poindexter puts it back in for the Cougars, 54-27. Here is Parker Salinas. Had a magical end to his senior year. He's got 14 in this game. Salinas on the baseline. He'll shoot, he'll score. So Parker has warmed up the most. Vache also starting to show some signs, but they need to show a lot in this last 12 minutes. Poindexter, my apologies, that's Lewis with a slightly out of control shot moving from left to right. IU East with the rebound. Here's Vache. Runs into Small, kicks out to Salinas. In the corner, Lucas Huffman, no good from three-point range. Vache had position for the rebound, but they're going to say he knocked it out of bounds. Jordan Hahn there as well. Red Wolf fans thought that Hahn caused the knockout. I didn't have the angle, so I won't weigh in on that. Ball back to St. Francis. Red Wolves down 29. My apologies, 25. They have 29. 11:50 to go. Kagan Comer inbounds to Jordan Hahn. Hahn will bring it. Got to figure St. Francis is going to, they're reasonably deliberate anyway, but got to figure they're going to look to run clock at pretty much every opportunity the rest of the way. Hahn will try the triple. No good back of the rim. Thomas can't collect the rebound. Poindexter does. Up against Niehoff, good. Poindexter, they said, has really come on strong for the Cougars in the second half of the season. Wasn't a name we called a whole lot in that game back at Bankers Life. We've called it a few times today to the tune of 6 points, 56-29. And turnover IU East. Comer out ahead of the field. He'll put in the reverse layup, 58-29, and they're doubling up the Red Wolves. 11 minutes to go. Vache hobbling a bit. I think it's a cramp. I don't know if they're gonna say injury timeouts. Vache will try to work out the it's a cramp. Grabbing the left foot. Checking in for him is Kyle Pippinger. You hear Austin Fox and Billy Dozlak in for St. Francis. And kind of wonder, obviously it's getting late. St. Francis, at some point, you got to figure, as they're probably thinking championship game tomorrow, maybe they'll put in some of their subs, which I've seen stranger things. I covered several high school games last year where teams substituted a bit too early looking for rest, and the other team was able to make a run. So if you're IU East looking for any angle you can get right now, that Nate Niehoff got the angle on that last play, got from the free throw line to the basket and put it in over the top of the rim, 58-31. Red Wolves have cut it to 27. Again, they've outscored them in the half, but they need to outscore them by a whole bunch. That one gets away from Dozlak. Nick Bolenbacher chases it down, tips it into the hands of Nate Niehoff. Up ahead to Parker Salinas, skips out of his hands, and he tried to control it. He got all the way from the three-point line to the basket without actually really having control. Got hit a whole bunch as IU East fans were looking for the foul. On the other end, Nick Bolenbacher looked for the charge. Unable to draw. It's going to be a block on Nick instead. 2 team fouls on IU East. Again, I kind of figured IU East would be just, at this point, reaching and grabbing for anything because it's not going to hurt at this point. And who knows, you might get a few steals out of it as well. That one goes against Nick, team second. Nick's got 1. And the ball will stay with St. Francis under their own basket right side. Lob inbound to Fox. Dozlak takes it on the handoff on the right wing to Fox on the right side. This is going to be trouble. They're able to force him left, which is not his preferred hand, but he spins back right and scores. Austin Fox, an excellent player, 60-31. Fox with 14. Also 9 rebounds to go with it. Pippinger, left elbow extended, drives against Fox, spins into the lane, shoots the floater, good. 60-33. We're more than halfway through this first half. Red Wolves needing the comeback of all comebacks in this last 9 minutes. St. Francis leads by 27 in this national semifinal. Lewis hands off to Dozlak. Dozlak goes back to Lewis. Lewis between the legs going against Ray. Kick out to Hahn. One more pass to the corner. Open. Dozlak. Good. Billy Dozlak has got his first basket of the game, 63-33 after the three-pointer by the freshman from Penn. IU East in the possession. Down to 9 minutes to go. Nate Niehoff looks for Lucas Huffman. Instead, Nate will take it himself. Gets to the block. Tried to throw the skip pass off the rim. Here's Lewis, guarded by Pippinger. Lewis gets to the basket. No good short, as Pippinger did a pretty good job forcing a less than ideal shot. Rebound, though, by the Cougars, as they've been dominant on the offensive glass. Unofficially, that's 16 of them. Red Wolves lose Dozlak in transition, but he'll miss the three-pointer, and here comes Nick. 8:30 to go. Nick will try to get to the basket against Dozlak. Goes up strong, can't get it to go. But Nick will shoot two. Fresh five coming in for IU East.
Number 20, Billy Dozlak is first.
Nick looking to cut into this mammoth deficit that IU East is facing. First shot up, first shot good for Nick. Red Wolves have shot 9 free throws in this game. They've hit 7 of them. As mass substitutions now both ways, as the Cougars are going to their bench mob. Again, I'm sure if you're St. Francis, you're thinking a little bit about tomorrow night at this point, and to win this championship, you have to play. In the case of these, St. Francis, I believe, did play on opening day, so they would only have 5 games in 7 days. IU East played its first round game on the second day, so they would have to play 5 games in 6 days to win this championship. They do take the Sunday off after the event gets going. So a whole bunch of people in for St. Francis. We'll introduce them to you as they touch the ball. Connor Umfrus was one of them. He inbounded it. Now it's in the hands of Spencer Comer. I don't believe he's a relative to Kagan. Kagan's from Jay County. Spencer's from Rushville. I don't know the full family tree, so I suppose the possibility of a related once removed type of thing. But one's from Rushville, one from Jay County. Dozlak's got it. He'll drive to the block, kick it out to Brogan Gary, who's in for the first time, and Brogan Gary knocks in the three. Gary from Pendleton Heights High School. He's a 6'2 junior, hometown Pendleton, Indiana. He gets in the scoring column, and he extends the St. Francis lead to 31, 66-35. Jason Ray is in for IU East. To Parker Salinas. In the corner now, Lucas Huffman. Lucas turns and faces, dribbles 2 times with the left hand, gets it to Dom Williams at the free throw line. Back to Lucas. Lucas dribbles it back out to the right wing to Dom. Shot clock at 5. Dom has to shoot the free throw line jumper. Can't get it to go, but there for the rebounds, Lucas. He's got a height advantage for Jordan Hahn. Can't get it the first time, does get it the second time. 66-37, down to 7:20 to go in the game. Here's Billy Dozlak for St. Francis. IU East pressing. 3 subs in for St. Francis are guys who don't necessarily play a lot. We'll see how they handle it. Jordan Hahn, a ball handler, in to handle it. One-handed skip pass after getting to the block. That time no good for Spencer Comer. Vache Davis with the rebound. He's going to bring it as fast as he can. Tried to get it to Jason Ray there with the hustle play to tip it out is Brogan Gary. Tipped out by Gary. IU East will keep it. Inbounding it for IU East will be Vache. Nick Lewis checks in for St. Francis. Jordan Hahn checks out. We're just under 7 minutes to go in this game. IU East trails 66-37. Again, this fabulous 4 game has not been as fabulous as the Red Wolves have hoped. Still a little bit of time. Obviously, we're in miracle to end all miracles territory here, but we'll play it to the buzzer. That's all you can do. Vache double teamed out to Aaron Thomas on the left wing. Aaron will take it of himself. Gets all the way to the basket and rims out. Good looking layup, just rimmed out. It's been that kind of night for IU East, and Vache called for the foul. Red Wolves tried to pick up right away off of the miss, which hard to do, and a foul against Vache Davis as Nick Lewis was working to bring it up for St. Francis. Lewis is a 5'10 senior guard from Fort Wayne Snyder. Red Wolves trail 66-37. We've got 6:40 to go. Bringing it out of the corner, Dozlak. Back in the corner to Gary. Dom Williams trips, and they're going to call Dozlak on the illegal screen as they were doing a dribble exchange there. Dozlak's second foul, just the team's 4th. Not a lot of fouls in this game at all. We're going to be done well before probably 8:30 at the rate things are going one of the quickest games of the year for IU East. 6:30 to go. High post, that's Dom Williams on the left side. Couldn't get Vache on the handoff, instead to Jason Ray. Jason left elbow extended, shoot the jumper, no good. Rebound one-handed by Aaron Thomas. He's going to get close to double digits in rebounds in this game, is Aaron. Back to Parker Salinas. Parker will dribble from the left wing to the right block, gets it on the glass. Can't get it to go, but he'll go to the line for two. That's something the Red Wolves needed a lot in this half. They needed as many shots with the clock stopped as they could possibly get. They'll get a couple here. They've played them even in the second half, but they were down big at the break and they made a little bit of dent in the lead, but they needed to take a sledgehammer to that lead, and just haven't been able to do that against a very good St. Francis team that's looking for its second national tournament championship in the last 7 years. First free throw was good, second one good as well. 66-39, IU East trails. Coming up on 6 minutes to go. They're picking up man full court. Again, maybe get a few turnovers out of this, because basically the third or the scout team in for St. Francis, all very good players. They wouldn't be here. As Coach Chester said, they wouldn't recruit them if they couldn't come in and play at the highest level, but maybe a little more likely to get a turnover. You hear me chuckle. Lewis had his shoe untied. Vache actually told him to tie it, and he did after inbounding the ball, so tied it up with the ball in play. 5:50 to go. Lewis, right side, in the corner to Spencer Comer. Comer to Lewis. Tried to take it up against Vache. Vache knocked it away. It's in the hands of Aaron Thomas. Aaron showing some handles as he brings it up himself. Skip pass to Parker Salinas in the corner. Parker will try the three-pointer. No good off the back of the rim. Aaron with the rebound. I'll tell you, Aaron's probably going to have his way on the boards in the last, as long as they leave him in, because he's 4 inches taller than anyone out there and can jump higher than anyone else out there. So don't be surprised if Aaron gets to double digits in rebounding. They've got him unofficially with 8 so far. It'll be IU East ball after the foul. 6 on St. Francis. Next one will put the Red Wolves in the bonus. Salinas will bring it in on the sideline to Nick Bolenbacher. He'll try the three. Good.
Nick Bolenbacher for 3.
66-42. St. Francis, wisely I might add, lets the ball bounce a few times, lets themselves get set up with the clock running. So really it's going to take several seconds to get the ball up. Lewis ran into traffic. What do we got here? Jason Ray and Vache Davis were trying to get the ball from him. Lewis was on the ground trying to hold on to it. And it's going to be a foul on Vache. My apologies, Jason. I had my the officials are pointing the other way to the scores table, and I misread my 1 for a 2. 66-42, Red Wolves down, 5:11 to go. Lewis, guarded by Davis. Left side, goes to the wing to Kendon Lewis. Kendon stops, back to Spencer Comer. Spencer for 3, no good back to the rim. Jason Ray hustles down the rebound, keeps it from going out of bounds, out to Vache Davis, and Vache will bring it up the right side. Vache, cross-court pass to Nick Bolenbacher. Nick will shoot another 3 and hit it. 66-45. They've cut into a bit, but time very much the enemy for IU East. 4:30 to go. Nick Lewis to Kendon Lewis. Kendon Lewis drives, left hand, blocked by Jason Ray. Dom Williams with the rebound. Dom switches left to right. He's in the middle. Kicks corner. Parker Salinas, no good for 3. Rebound by Umphras. He gets it out to Kendon Lewis. Kendon to the basket. Fouled by Jason Ray on the reach around, and we'll see going to be the 2-shot foul after the foul by Jason Ray. You see the score and the time. This is an audio-only broadcast if you're just tuning in. We are able to show you the time and the score. If you're wanting the video broadcast of these last few minutes, it is at the NAIA network. Thank you so much for those of you who have tuned in today and throughout this run to the Fab Four. Red Wolves have gone farther than any Red Wolf team before. 3 tournament wins when they came here without any in their history. They had high hopes coming in tonight, a lot of familiarity with the team and the court even. This is the 7th game on this College of the Ozarks floor for the IU East, anyone who's a sophomore or older on the IU East team, because IU East has played at College of the Ozarks. And there you hear the Red Wolf fans not pleased, as a very late foul on Vache Davis, hustling for the rebound. It's one of those where You hope that it doesn't think this way. I think the referee's trying to kind of just move things along. And they were going to let it go, but then a very late call against Vache Davis is going to send Connor Umphris to the line for 2. 4 minutes, 5 seconds to go. First shot up. This is a 1-and-1. First shot good for Umphris. 68-45. Story of the game, Red Wolves just ice cold shooting tonight. 15 out of 59. Not going to even give the percentage other than to say it's not one that'll win a lot of games. Have held St. Francis to 42%. But IU East just ice cold from the field, not able to get enough points to be in position to win this one right now. Under 4 minutes to go. Vache drives with the left hand. Red Wolves work the ball quickly. Nick Bolenbacher, top of the key, tries to get it to Vache. Vache left side between the legs, shoots the long 3, gets hit on the arm by Nick Lewis. And Vache will get 3 free throws. 3:45 to go. Vache with a chance to cut it down to 20. IU East has outscored the Cougars by a handful of points in this half, but one of those too little, too late situations, as it's a 23-point lead with 3:45 to go. If Vache can make all 3 of these, it would be down to 20 points. Second shot coming for Vache. Three free throws coming. This is the second and third. It is no good. He'll get one more. Red Wolves pretty much going to sub in 5s the rest of the way. And see hugs for Nick Bolenbacher and Parker Salinas. That leads me to believe that this is probably going to be it for the seniors. A hug for Don Williams as well. A senior class that won a whole bunch of games, did a whole bunch of good things. The 5 seniors combined GPA going into this semester a 3.3. Jason Ray out as well. They wanted to be the group that won a game for IU National Tournament. Not only did they win one of them, they won 3 of them. As Vache commits the foul to let Jacoby Playpool check in. Vache is going to check out as well for the last time. Gets a hug from Jacoby, as I may be a little choked up myself a bit. Vache getting hugs all down the Red Wolf bench. Coach Hester said Coach Hester doesn't have necessarily favorite players, but Vache, a special player to him, just because he came out of Morton High School in Hammond. Really no recruiting reputation to speak of. Was, I believe, like second team all area up there. Didn't play much really the whole first half of his freshman year. And I remember being at IU Southeast where just the light bulb went on. He went off for 28 in that game and has just been a fixture in the lineup ever since. Not just a fixture in the lineup, but a fixture at IU East. And you can say that for all the seniors. The 5 of them gathered at the end of the bench. Not a lot of dry eyes. St. Francis with a score on the other end, 70-46, as we have 3 minutes to go, basically just playing for the final score at this point. Jacoby gets caught in traffic, partially blocked by Nick Lewis, able to collect it over to Nate Niehoff. He can't get it to go. Rebound by St. Francis, quickly ahead to Nick Lewis. Nick Lewis to Umphris. Umphris drives, kicks it to Spencer Comer. Spencer Comer for 3, and he hit it. Spencer Comer with the three-pointer. Comer with his first basket, so pretty much I believe everyone but one player's in the scoring column for St. Francis. 73-46. And Jacoby Claypool's going to have to check out. He got hit really on both hands on the last IU East possession. That left hand has been killing him. Showed a lot of heart to give it a go in these last few games. His words to Coach Hester were, hey, I can still guard someone. And he's played some, hard to describe on radio, but if you've been watching on video, you can see some impressive defensive work that he's done on some key possessions late in games for IU East. He's going to check out in tremendous pain for the Red Wolves. 73-46, we're under 3 to go. Kyle Pippinger tries a quick pass. In fact, a nice dish to the post to Nate Niehoff. He scores it, 73-48. Back the other way, Nick Lewis to Kendon Lewis, back to Nick Lewis. They working around. Spencer Comer will shoot another 3. Missed that one. Rebound, Brad Hunt to Lucas Huffman. Lucas will walk it up. Down to almost 2 minutes to go. Lucas drives with the left hand, leaves it for Kyle Pippinger. Pip for 3, no good, back of the rim. Rebound, Comer. Rebound to Kendon Lewis. Kendon guarded by Lucas. They'll work it around to Nick Lewis. He's the only person that hasn't scored. They'll let Spencer Comer shoot another 3, and he'll hit it. My apologies. That was Umphris with the 3. 76-48. Back to a 28-point lead for St. Francis. So basically dead even in the second half until you hear the IU East fans. A 3 there by Nate Niehoff, 76-51. Cold shooting, the story of the game for IU East. They've warmed up a little bit late, but it was too little too late. Just a 17 out of 63 percentage that just wasn't going to get it done. Definitely not against the number 1 team in the nation, and not on a lot of other nights either. As we go down to a minute 15 to play, Lucas Huffman's got it. They'll go Brad Hunt in the post. You're basically looking at your 2016-17 Red Wolves right now, or at least one version of them. Lucas Huffman, Brad Hunt, Kyle Pippinger, Aaron Thomas, and Nate Niehoff all in. All of them underclassmen, also back next year. Jacoby Claypool. Tyson Schumpert has been redshirt, and you're going to enjoy watching him next year. Watch redshirted this year, going to have 4 years of eligibility. As Kendon Lewis hits a 3 for St. Francis. Red Wolf fans, you're really going to enjoy watching Tyson Schumpert next year because he's just dominated some practices this year and is going to really be a big boost for IU East next year. 79-51, St. Francis on the 3 on its last possession. Brad Hunt answers with 2 points for IU East, 79-53. St. Francis will have to shoot it one more time. IU East might or might not shoot it one more time, and then this one will be done. There will be, we hope to get post-game interviews, but they do a presentation. All of the Red Wolves are going to be bringing home a Final Four plaque. Obviously, they wanted to bring home that national championship banner, but they are going to get a Final Four plaque, so there'll be a bit of a delay. I don't know if we'll be able to get a player or coach interview or not. As ball went out of bounds, shot clock inadvertently was shut off. Ball never hit the rim. Obviously academic at this point, but the officials, interesting story. There's 6 in these last 2 games, and actually they're graded on this game. And the ones that are graded the 4 best get to work the final. 3 on the court, 1 alternate. So the referees, if you're wondering why the heck don't they just give it to IU East out of bounds, they're being graded, and it's incumbent on them to get all the calls right on this one, as they, like the teams, want to make it to the national tournament championship game. So that's why they took the time to get that right. They tried an alley-oop. It didn't work. Nate Niehoff the other way. Bumps, shot, no good. Charge. So that will probably be the final play that goes. Oh, no, they're going to call the block on St. Francis. The signal, for all the world, looked like the charge signal, but we'll take it. So IU East will shoot 2. Nate Niehoff, first one up, first one good. They're going to win the second half, but they lost contact really in the first half. And the Red Wolves are going to fall here in this national semifinal. Second shot good. St. Francis is going to let the clock expire. Final score in this national semifinal. St. Francis top-ranked 79, IU East 55. There will be a semifinal awards presentation immediately after the game. We'll keep it on the air as long as we can, hoping to get some reaction from Coach Hester and one of the seniors. Hopefully they wouldn't mind being up to talking after this one. 79-55, your final. IU East is going to finish this season with a 22-14 record.
the most games ever in a season for IU East. St. Francis marches on. They will be in the national championship game. 3rd time overall, first time for them since 2011. And they'll be a very tough out for either Indiana Wesleyan or Davenport, which is who will square off in the next game. So the semifinalist trophy and plaques are at midcourt. They'll be introducing the IU East players shortly. And while we wait on that, look at the stats. IU East finished 27% from the field. There were a couple other cold shooting games earlier in the season for IU East. So we'll have to check a few of those games. I'm not sure if this was the lowest percentage, but obviously not one of their better ones. St. Francis shot 43%, which will get it done on most nights. IU East 6 out of 24 from three-point range. They'd been over 40% most of the games in this tournament, and they probably would have needed that to continue tonight, as St. Francis did continue it. They shot 47% from three, which is not unusual for them, 47%. So big advantage both from the field and three-point range for St. Francis. IU East did get more free throws than St. Francis. They hit 13 out of 17, 77%. St. Francis 9 out of 13, 70%. St. Francis dominant on the boards, 51-29, including 17 offensive. They evened it out a little bit in the second half, but if memory serves, that was a 31-12 advantage for St. Francis at halftime. A big reason they had really an insurmountable lead at the half of 44-16. Both teams, for the most part, took care of the ball. IU East just 6 turnovers, St. Francis with 11. IU East with 3 steals, St. Francis with 3. 6 block shots for St. Francis, 5 by the Red Wolves. 13 fouls on both teams. And we'll take a look at some of the individual stats as the Red Wolves being announced now, getting their semifinal plaques. We'll start with IU East. Dom Williams got the start, 4 rebounds, did not score. Brad Hunt came off the bench for a bucket. Jacoby Claypool came off the bench, gave it a go, unable to score. Again, dealing with that wrist injury the last 3 games of this tournament. Basically playing one-handed the last 3 games. And a lot of courage by Jacoby giving that a go. Vache Davis, 9 points in his final IU East game. Nick Bollenbacher, 8 points in his final IU East game. Aaron Thomas played, did not score, but 9 rebounds. Really, the Red Wolves almost had to have him in to keep things under control on the glass. Jason Ray played, did not score, grabbed a couple rebounds. Kyle Pippinger with a bucket and a rebound. Parker Salinas led the way with 18 points. That was basically his average from January on when he joined the starting lineup. So a nice finish to his career for Parker Salinas. Got darn close to 1,000 points for his college career at the end. If the Red Wolves could have kept it going one more game, and if Parker had a couple truly big games, he might have got there. He scored about 700 in his IU East days and had close to 300 in his season at IU Kokomo. We'll double-check that before we put a bookend on this season. For St. Francis, balanced scoring. Austin Fox led the way with 14, also had 9 rebounds. Bryce Linnup, again, if I was giving out an MVP for St. Francis for that game, that he'd be it. 13 points, 14 rebounds, basically giving St. Francis as many shots as they needed in the first half when this game got away from the Red Wolves. Jordan Hahn played, did not score. Perry Poindexter, 8 points. Billy Dozlak, 3 points. Connor Umphras, 6 points, 7 rebounds, in reserve actually for
for St. Francis. Actually, he's the one that his production kept. If IU East was thinking about making a crazy run at the end, his production as one of the reserves in for St. Francis kept that from even possibly happening. Seth Small, 7 points, 5 rebounds. Evan Henry, 5 points. He had 4 rebounds. Small and Henry both shorter than I am, so even their little guys getting in there to help on the boards for St. Francis, which really gave them a boost. 13 points Kagan Comer, 3 points Brogan Gary, 4 points Kendon Lewis, and Nick Lewis played but did not score for St. Francis. Coach Hester kind enough to join us right away as he's making his way to the scores table. Coach, obviously not the first half we were looking for, and obviously a lot of things bounced their way and didn't bounce our way. If you had to say one or two things in the first half, what made that happen?
Nerves. I think, I told our honorary coach, Mike Russell, I said, if you know any way to coach nerves out of people, let me know, because we had trouble executing simple stuff that we've been running for 4 years, and and understandably it's a big moment, and it's our first time here, not theirs, but just disappointed when you don't show up to without that, and I think the second half though, we talked at halftime about we can't change that 20 minutes that just happened. All we can control is the next 20 minutes, and proud of our guys for coming out and playing hard that second half and making a run of it.
I certainly don't want to belabor the point on that first half, but was there a point because we talked before the game, I know we both thought that the nerves were in a good place. When or where did you first sense that it was maybe going to be an issue tonight?
On the way to the game when we got on the bus and not one word was said. All the other games coming out here from the hotel, there's been some chatter. It's not been a lot, but it's been some chatter. I tried to talk and loosen some things up, and they were just kind of stone-faced, and in the locker room before the game, Coach Rigby said not a lot was being said, and that's kind of unusual for our group, and I think they started thinking about it, and that's something. Again, it's our first time here, and our goal is to be used to playing like that, but we've just got to get more experience doing that, and I think once we do, it's great for our younger kids to do that, to be in this situation. I told Rigby after the end of the game, as I said, if you'll remember, I said it was 1990, I think, when that happened to Duke, and then they came back and won 2 straight. So, maybe this is a good experience for us and a good learning opportunity for where we need to be in the future.
We won't belabor this game anymore. Just quite a ride this team has took IU East on and this program on. Just a few words on what this team has meant to this program, and especially the senior class.
Well, I think that what sums it up is, the biggest compliment that we've gotten all week, and it's not been one. It's been numerous. It's been too many to count. That the officials from all 3 officials, other coaches, fans have complimented us on the quality of character of the guys that we have. The officials have said we have such a class group of guys that. They're so respectful, and they're so polite, and that means a lot. That means more to me than anything they've done on the court or anything like that. That we have great people in our program and great men graduating from here, and that's what it's all about. If we're not doing that, we're doing a disservice not just to the game but to the university and to the kids. And I think we're doing that. We're teaching. We're teaching a lot of hard life lessons through athletics, and they're accepting them, and they're growing, and I just couldn't be prouder. I mean, we've even had our sponsors even inquire about guys for jobs, afterward, because they're business majors, and that's what it's all about. And I'm just so proud of them. I mean, each one of them have done so much for this program and this university, and that's what it really means. What means the most to me.
Vache about to join us. Coach, thanks for joining us. Congratulations. I know that big banner's the one you want, but that Final Four banner's not going to look too bad in the new gym either.
It's a good start.
All right, thanks, Coach. And Vache Davis is going to join us as well on the postgame. Vache, thanks for joining us after this one as we're making some real estate here for him on press row. Vache, thanks for joining us. We won't talk too much about the game. Coach thought maybe a bit of the nerves got us. From the player's point of view, your thoughts on really the first half, because that's what made the difference.
We came out a little slower than we wanted to. The ball stuck, and that's not how we played throughout the tournament, and it kind of cost us, and we got down big. So we tried to come out the second half and just try to play our ball and not worry about the scoreboard.
We won't belabor that game too much. Just want to talk about this ride, this 9 days that the Red Wolves have been out here. No one from IU East had ever won a tournament game until 9 days ago. You're going to graduate with 3 of these wins. I know you wanted 5, but talk about what it means to you to be part of the group and a leader of the group that brought some national tournament wins to IU East.
It was special. It was a special ride. Cinderella story for sure. We just band together at the right time and played together, and we played our best basketball. So it was a great run, and I'm glad I was able to be a part of it. My last go around.
A lot's happened in the last 9 days. Really a blur to me as well. But if you had to pick maybe one favorite on-court memory from all this and one favorite off-court memory, give us a couple memories that you know are going to stick with you forever.
On-court was definitely coming on top against #1 Briarcliff. We shocked the world, shocked a lot of people here. And off the court, of course, being around our sponsors and being at the racetrack, it was a great time to have fun.
And we had, I don't even know how many people watching at the Graph and listening online. One last message to Red Wolf Nation.
I always love you. It'll never stop. I'll be a proud alumni, and I'm glad you was able to support this team. And we did all we can do, and we bringing home a banner to the new gym.
Vache, it's been 4 years since we first met. I know we'll know each other forever, hopefully, but it's been a real pleasure these 4 years. So congratulations. Say Vache Davis on the post game. So that's a wrap. 2 fewer wins than we wanted, but 3 more wins than we've ever had. The Red Wolves to the Fab Four of this national tournament for the first time. They'll finish 22-14 and be back at it again next year in pursuit of one of those national championship banners. Thanks to all of Red Wolf Nation. Thanks to all of you that were listening. Thanks to those of you that were watching and listening. Thanks to all of you that listened throughout the season. Thanks to those of you that listened to this fabulous run to the Fabulous Four of this national tournament. We'll do it again next year. This has been Kyle Wright with the IU East Athletic Department. You've been listening to IU East Red Wolves men's basketball at IUERedWolves.com and the Red Wolves Sports Network.